Lady told me to look around the river bend, grab my pole and fish they start rolling in. Everyone I caught was just a little off. Packed my gear 'cause baby I'd had enough. So our first album is called Never Before. Obviously, it's never happened before. I think I would describe the sound of the band as a mixture between folk, bluegrass, and jazz. I once tried to use the term frazz. It didn't really go over that well. Wasn't long before my fish swam away. I was hoping that he would return to me, but he found another lady. But it's basically folk music played by jazz musicians, with some moments, some of those like sparkly group improvisational moments that happen in bluegrass. We try and channel the spirit of a bluegrass group. We decided to record our album in an unconventional way. First of all, we did it naturally, which is not done very much anymore. And we found a cabin in the middle of the woods in New Hampshire with very little, mostly none, very little cell phone reception and no internet, and we just hauled all of our gear up there, settled down in the great room in this beautiful wood cabin, and lit a fire in the stove, and recorded the album right there for, I guess, 2.5, 3 days. Just a little known fact about the Laura Grill Band is all members of the Laura Grill Band are good cooks. The boys, that's what's interesting, and they sing. So they're great catches. Dodgeball illustrates the hierarchy. Dodgeball is about this poor kid William who hates dodgeball and is really horrible at it, and it, you know, gives him panic attacks to know that it's Wednesday or whatever, dodgeball day in gym class, and so he's resourceful and he figures out a way to sort of avoid being in the middle of that circle. He's a sneaky kid. I'm Laura Grill, and I started the Laura Grill Band, which consists of the following members: Matt Consul, Brad Barrett, Will Graefe, and James Wylie. I wish we had a cooler name, but it's too late now. James Wylie is sort of the secret ingredient.
The middle of the second innings, 35 overs down, 6 wickets in hand. Oh, it's 4 runs!
If I were a chef, and I were giving you the secret, you know, the recipe for the Laura Grill Band. Not that you'd want the recipe, but maybe some people would. James Wylie would definitely be the secret ingredient. He has this sort of masterful Zen state, and you know, he's the glue. He's that person that kind of just adds that one element that you wouldn't have expected usually. Kiss me down by the bearded barley, lightly beside the green, green grass. Matt is probably the nicest person in the world. He's the most recent addition, or the most recent addition in the band before we recorded the album. He's phenomenal. I mean, he plays mandolin and violin and viola, and he also plays guitar, and he sings, and he's great. And I was really lucky to find him, and I think he's probably the most enthusiastic member of the group.
Oh, come on! Oh, Jesus.
My one and only. Barrett is a really good friend of mine. I think he's the first person I ever played with when I started graduate school, and it's sort of been a musical romance ever since. Brad lived in Tennessee for a long time, grew up in Texas, so he kind of has that natural, he gets it, which everyone in the band does really, which is kind of amazing since we're all, you know, studying jazz. Shouldn't say jazz like that. I love jazz, it's great. Will Graefe is Will Graefe. If you've heard him play, that's all I really have to say, but he's, well, he's an attractive and, no, I can't just say that and stop. He's,
I'm just making a flyer for all of us to enjoy.
He has an amazing folk sensibility for a jazz guitar player. It's never about, you know, number of notes or sort of the, you know, stigma about it. He just plays things that sound perfect, usually. So he's sort of quiet, but has a lot to say.
Yeah,
Never Before is the tagline to a song about how many times I've written a love song, which is Never Before. I wrote my first true, you know, love song. I guess it was more like I wrote the love song in hopes that it would become an actual love song for me. And I don't think this is really the place to discuss my personal life, so you'll have to just, you'll never know. Got close, it would slip away. People who really know me are gonna know that I took a shot before I did this. But when she looks at me, see eye to eye instantaneously, and we la